And here we go. The first finalist for the investment award is Epihunter. Tim Buckinx is going to give the presentation. So take it away, Tim. I'm pretty sure you're online, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. So on March 15, 2015, my son said, "Papa, you work in digital. Can't you create a light that turns on when my brain switches off?" At 10 years old, he was simply fed up with the daily life impact of his refractory epilepsy. And this pain became a vision, and this vision became the digital therapeutics company, Epihunter. Next. Our mission is to enable people with a brain disorder to participate more fully in society. Next. We operate at the cross-section of 4 major global trends. And today there's one trend that I want to highlight, and that's the evolution of EEG. We believe that EEG will become ubiquitous. On one end, because of consumerization, making it smaller, more fashionable at a very high pace. You can see some examples on the left side. And on the other hand, there are the impressive advancements in implanted EEG. And that is fantastic for people with a brain disorder and epilepsy, as these devices will allow for faster diagnosis, totally new treatments, but will also alleviate impact from such a condition. And that is exactly our mission. Next slide. We create digital therapeutics that apply real-time AI to wearable EEG, to reduce that impact, but also to generate real-world data for better treatments. Next. Our beachhead, next. Our beachhead is for people with absence epilepsy. As you know, it's the most common pediatric epilepsy syndrome, causes absence seizures, look mostly like daydreaming, and they can occur up to 200 times per day. And it is especially that invisibility that causes significant impact on daily life, but also on diagnosis and treatment. Next. Our beachhead product for absence epilepsy is already on the market in Europe and Australia and used by more than 350 users. The wearable EEG is analyzed with artificial intelligence for real-time interventions in daily life. For example, by making the teacher aware of a seizure right at the moment when it occurs. Our C-Class 1 platform with more than 16,000 hours of real-life EEG data, more than 100 hours of seizure videos, due to privacy reasons only from home use, alleviates the reporting pressure from parents and provides a neurologist with a new toolset for faster diagnosis and optimized treatment. And all of this without interrupting the daily routines of the person with the condition and the caregivers, and that's truly unique. Next. Our team's capability to design and conduct clinical validation studies with research partners is key. And later this year, we will publish fantastic results from a prospective study that ran in Boston Children's and 3 European reference centers, and was enabled, by the way, by a new therapy grant from Epilepsy Foundation. And in this study, we compare Epihunter's detections with the gold standard of clinical video EEG. Interim results were already presented at the previous Pipeline conference. Next. We have a strong and very experienced core team. I have a background in marketing and digital product development, and as a father, I'm confronted on a daily basis with the pains and needs of epilepsy. Dirk Lux has a PhD in medical image computing and previously founded and led the fantastic Belgian company Icometrics. Dirk takes care of Epihunter Science. And Nikki has been the global software architect at Bose. He's our CTO and makes sure that I can sleep at night. Next. We have a world-class international advisory board with leading key opinion leaders from the US and Europe, and I feel really honored by that. Next. Epihunter is also a proud multi-award winning company, and some recent recognitions on this slide. Next. Together with researchers, medtech and pharma, we identified the potential product pipeline to leverage our technology and core clinical validation capabilities beyond absence epilepsy. Of course, we will not develop all of these products at the same time. For each individual product, we discuss the needs and value to the ecosystem and with partnerships, and those partnerships will define the sequences of our roadmap. Our beachhead remains absence epilepsy, as we believe that the insights we will bring will illustrate the potential for other epilepsies and brain disorders. We are very grateful to the Epilepsy Foundation for helping us with this validation study, and we hope this collaboration will further grow. Next. Let's talk about the business side of a software as a service company. Next. From an early focus on out-of-pocket models in Europe, Epihunter evolved to a clear regulatory pathway towards a prescribed reimbursement model. We strongly believe in collaborations for true impact. Therefore, we call out to potential partners like pharma companies, medtech CROs, patient organizations, and researchers. Next. And next. This Shark Tank application will help us especially understand the needs and specificities of the US market. And for this, we will run 3 health technology assessments to understand the impact of absence epilepsy on daily life, to understand the impact Epihunter can bring on that quality of life, and to understand the value of Epihunter on a clinical care pathway. And we will take an important step in making Epihunter available to US families via 510(k) clearance. Next. We are a unique digital therapeutics company focused on brain disorders with the first beachhead in absence epilepsy. We combine wearable EEG with real-time AI for real-life interventions, but also provide objective data for diagnosis and optimized treatment. And hopefully, one day we will help to create totally new treatment approaches. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to the sharks.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the great presentation. One of the things that I noted in your proposal was that you said you really wanted to develop a deeper relationship with the Epilepsy Foundation, especially as you try and come into the US market. So I'd like to ask, what would be the benefit of that relationship? How would you actually, tap into the Epilepsy Foundation? How would that help you in the States?
Yeah, I think working with patient organizations brings us definitely further closer to real outcomes.
Can somebody put the, can somebody put the video on the confidence monitor, please? Thank you. Go ahead.
So I think the deepening the relationship with the Epilepsy Foundation will put us more closely in contact with all the different aspects of epilepsy. And I feel very strong about real daily life outcomes of treatments, but also care for people with epilepsy. And next to that, as a father, when I think about data ownership, I don't want data ultimately to be with a company like Epihunter or a large pharma company or a medtech company. I want patient organizations like Epilepsy Foundation to have the data available to really empower innovation for people with the condition. And I think that they can group all that data together and drive very powerful innovation in the future.
Thank you. I know we have a few more questions, so we'll ask for shorter answers. Thank you for that.
When do you think you'd have your 510 clearance from the FDA so you could begin to market this?
Can I switch to my helpline, Dirk Lux, on that?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everybody there. This is Dirk Lux, also from Epihunter. We are currently finalizing a study which also includes Boston Children as hospital to show that what we measure is sufficiently identical to the clinical video EEG. And we think this data is sufficient to convince FDA, but including our learnings, we assume it will be within a year, more or less.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Tim, Mama Shark here. I have one practical question. What's the battery life?
Yeah, the battery life at this moment of the headset is 4 hours. It is definitely not enough for the future, but we are really closely monitoring the market. And on a weekly basis, we have calls with manufacturers of EEG wearables. And there are quite some very interesting form factors and devices with improved battery life as well coming to market. And we want to be ready to work with these.
Thank you. Can I ask one quick follow-up question? I think if I did my math correctly, your son is now 16. Would your son wear would their son wear this in a classroom today as a 16-year-old?
He typically today has his seizures in the evening, so he's not wearing it at school. There is definitely a moment in young adolescents when they tend to be more sensitive to visual elements, and that is something that in the future we will take care of, because for instance, this is my EEG headset as well. So
Thank you.
So one quick question. So is your product a wearable, or is it the software, or how does it integrate with other wearable products, or what do you really invest in?
Yeah, myself, I have a professional background in consumer electronics, and having worked in that sector, I know that many EEG wearables are coming to market and not designed for neurological conditions. And that is fantastic, because the bigger markets will create very fast iteration cycles. So we are, and with Epihunter, we are an EEG agnostic platform that wants to speak and will speak with different form factors, different wearables.
So we have time for a question from the audience, if anybody has a question or a question online. Can I borrow this back? Okay, if not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Going to move on.